Hi, how's it going?
Oh, just a million interviews in one day. So just
Fair enough.
it's the story of my life. I'm used to it at this point. It's all good.
Well, it's first interview for me today, so
Oh, right on. Okay, well, I will do my best like it's your very
thank
first one. So here we go.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, first things first, I have to talk to you about you playing the SpongeBob intro with freaking Tom Kenny.
I
Excuse
know.
me, how epic is that, and how was that for you?
It's not often that I get really nervous. And I was so nervous doing that, largely because we didn't rehearse it. We just went up there and we were like, okay, let's have it. He was so cool and just so much fun and one of the nicest people I've ever met. And I've been a fan of his for years. Like I can remember watching him on Mr. Show with Bob and David. And then years later, it was Griffin's favorite cartoon
Oh.
forever. So we would just watch all of the seasons together. So it was this weird kind of culmination of a lot of years of me like following him as an actor and so it was just really weird. It was a lot of fun, but it was just so bizarre. I was like, how did we get here, dude? Like what happened?
The reason we're talking today basically is because you have a new album coming out, and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
already got to listen to it, and it's so good, but the sound is so versatile. So I
Right.
was wondering, like, how did you manage to keep it cohesive, basically?
Um, I have to give a lot of credit to my band. They first of all, anything I throw at them, they can play. It's criminal how good they are. They're so good. They're so talented. And I don't know what they're doing with me, but I'm glad I have them. I think the fact that it's all of us and we have such distinct styles that no matter what the genre, no matter what the style, no matter what the song kind of lends itself, we take it and we kind of put it through our own filter, which gives it a commonality, which gives it a kind of a unilateral vibe. So you feel the difference, the diversity, but you also hear it's like this is the same band playing all of these different styles and they are just ripping it. So I think the secret comes to the fact that it's all the same people playing each song and playing it with such passion that it connects it. You know what I mean? Like so
Mm.
between the craftsmanship and the emotion, I think that's what really kind of ties it all together.
Yeah, definitely. And with all those songs, I know you wrote a bunch of different songs. So
Yeah,
I there was like 26, I think I heard you say in
yeah,
some
yeah.
interview, like a bunch of them. So
Yeah.
with all those songs, I was wondering which was like the easiest to write and which was the hardest one to write for you.
Oh man, that's a good question. They all come pretty quickly to me, especially when I kind of wrap my head around the arrangement. I can dial it in pretty quickly. I would probably say the hardest one to capture anyway was probably Dead Flies, just because there were so many levels to the emotional impact that we were trying to capture on that because it's such an epic song. We knew the heavy was going to kind of dial itself in, but it was all about kind of capturing the nuance as well. Like the lower passages to kind of accentuate the peaks and whatnot. And I think the easiest one was probably Sorry Me, just because it really took, I mean, maybe an hour or two to do. It's
Oh.
just literally me playing, acoustic. And I think it took longer for us to kind of find the things to layer it with than it did to actually record the guitar and the vocals. So, but I wanted it to feel very sparse. I wanted it to have that sense of loneliness that kind of comes from dealing with depression, with bouts of depression that can threaten to kind of pull you down, and you kind of have to keep yourself above water sometimes, and it's a difficult task. So I wanted that music to kind of feel that way, and luckily we were able to kind of grab it like that.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's so beautiful, and I just love the songs. And I also read somewhere that you put a couple Easter eggs in there for your wife to find. So I was
Yeah,
wondering,
yeah.
can you tell us about any of them or give us like a hint?
Oh, well, I mean, largely they're buried in the songs that I wrote about her. And I wrote about, well, what, four? I think like four or five. I mean, I could write about my wife all day. Like it's just so easy for me.
Mm.
Um, but just little things that we say to each other, little I don't want to say pet names, but like little bits of code that we have developed over the years. We almost have our own kind of language sometimes. Like, I couldn't think of the proper term for how much I loved her, so I invented a word. It's not on the album, but it's one that we use just together. That just lets you know how special the connection is.
Can you tell us the word?
Nope, nope,
Aw.
nope. Nobody gets to know it. Nobody gets to know it. Not yet, anyway. I can't
Fair.
give it away without talking to my wife.
Fair enough. It's super cute though, and I love that. Like the
Yeah,
passion you have for her, it's so sweet, and I really love that. And you already talked a little about the songwriting process. So I
right.
was wondering, like during that, since your last album was super successful, like did you
Yeah,
ever feel any pressure during it to keep up with that, or was it just like whatever, I'm doing my own thing?
yeah. I mean, I've never put any pressure on myself. The only pressure I really have, maybe at this point, is to top myself songwriting wise. But that stuff has always come so easy to me that I don't really worry about it. I mean, maybe it's the only pressure I ever felt was to kind of make this album sound even bigger than the first one. So to kind of make the songwriting feel better, make the production sound better, the performances, just the overall vibe, to really just kind of expand the boundaries that I kind of set up on that first one, and maybe even kind of lean into more of the different elements that people want to hear from me, like the heavy stuff, the darker stuff. I don't think I ever felt any pressure. Maybe I'm not
Mm.
smart enough to feel pressure. I just kind of wade into it and just pray that everything's going to be fine. But I think there's an old saying. It's like you only feel pressure if you don't know what you're doing.
Mm.
And I never start anything that where I don't feel like I don't know what I'm doing. Where I don't. It's so that it never even occurs to me. I just go into it with this feeling that I'm going to make something really cool, and hopefully the world gets into it.
Mm. Yeah, definitely. And I love that you go about it like that. I feel like it's very smart not to like put yourself in a position like that to pressure you and make
Right.
you have to put something out a certain way. Like I love that. It sounds like you have a lot of creative freedom that way. So that's
Yeah,
really
yeah.
cool. And so one more thing we really have to talk about is the cover
Okay.
art, and I love it. Like I think I read somewhere you said you want to be able to see it from the sky, basically. So and you
Right.
can
Yeah.
like I love it so much, and like with all the
Right.
different Corys in on the cover, it's so creative. So I was wondering like what part about that cover is like your favorite part? Like is there a favorite outfit about it or just the whole
Oh
concept?
man,
Like do you have a
that's a
favorite part?
that's a good question. It's so funny because, like, if you get the physical album, there's actually the gatefold is actually a bigger picture, and there's actually more of me in there, and I'm kind of standing in front of it, like looking at it like this. Um, I, you know, to me, my favorite are the little Easter eggs that are in there. Like my whole outfit is kind of an homage to Bowie, to David Bowie. From the makeup to the outfit that I'm wearing. It's just the way I've done my hair now. But at the same time, you know, I don't know if I actually even have a favorite on there. Maybe some of the suits that I used to wear for like the Kerrang Awards, the crazy ones that you see kind of peppered through there. Like, it's actually this really cool company that I don't even think is around anymore called Moods of Norway, and they would make these insane suits that I just had never seen before. I was like, these are getting cool. So I bought like a bunch of them, and I would wear them for when I would co-host the Kerrang Awards during the years. And it was always my goal was to one up the suit from the year before. And I just kept getting crazier and crazier to the point where it's like, I don't even know if I can top this last one. This one's insane. So I think those would probably be my favorites.
I love that. Like basically just turning into Lady Gaga at some point.
Yeah, absolutely. Why not? Just go for it.
Just going all the way. I love it so much. Well, thank you so much for taking the time. Is there anything else you would like your fans to know out here?
Just how much I appreciate them. I couldn't have done any of this over the years without their trust. It's like, to me, making music is like breathing, and it just happens so naturally for me. And I know that I like it, but it's not necessarily a guarantee that other people are going to like it. So the fact that they have embraced me over the years with everything that I've done, not just this, but Slipknot, Stone Sour, I cannot tell them how much I appreciate it more. It means the world to me.
It was so nice talking to you, meeting you. I can't
That's
wait
all
for
good.
your concerts out here. I'll be in Cologne, so I'll see you on stage.
Oh, very cool. All right, very cool. All right, well, we will see you then.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much. Bye
No
bye.
worries. Bye.